Hey there rockers, your guitar sage. Today we're going to learn how to bend strings into pitch, how to use bending in our phrasing and our soloing and general playing. So the idea of bending a string is when you take a string and you hit it, pick it, and you bend it in one direction or another, either bending it into the middle of the guitar, or if it's these lower strings, you typically bend it down into the middle of the guitar. And this idea came about when standard guitar players would try to mimic what slide players were doing when they would use a slide, which I don't have one right off the top of my head here. Oh yeah, I got one right here. So like if I wanted to do something like that, I could do it without a slide. Of course, it sounds a little bit different, but that's the idea, and that's where the idea came from. Okay, so let's talk about some specifics. When you're bending strings, you want to bend from the, if you're talking about the high strings here, you want to bend them up into the center of the guitar like this. They're the lower strings. You bend them down to the center of the string. So basically everything's bending in this way, because if you're bending this string up, you fall off the fretboard. That's not very cool. Going for this awesome note and you're like, yeah, not a way to get girls. Lesson to you. Okay, so there you go. So that's, you know, basic bending there. And so when we're bending a note, what we're wanting to do basically is there is a definite pitch that we're going for. So for instance, it's not just about bending the string into oblivion, you know, just whatever. We're actually bending to a specific note. So if this is the note that I'm trying to hit and my lick goes, I could just as well bend into that note like, and you're going to have a really cool sound doing that, right? So here's one way that I teach my students on how to bend with accuracy, because at first it's kind of difficult. First off, you typically are only bending with, in this order, probably your pinky, third, second, and first, in that order. I hardly ever bend with my first finger. I'll do it sometimes. I'm like, I'll do that kind of thing. Second finger, yeah, I do it a little bit more. Third finger, a lot more, for especially like when I'm playing the blues. That's a third finger, and then the fourth finger I use all the time. So I use the third and fourth there. So you get the idea. When you're bending with a pinky and when you're bending with a third finger, you always want to have these other fingers help out. Okay, so like if I'm bending with this finger and I'm bending this string, this fret, I'm not going to go at it solo like this. It's not going to have the strength to do it. So you get these other fingers to sit right behind it, and sometimes I'll even do this, like just slide them up and go. Now I got a nice sound. I can do it with just these two, but it's not going to be as stable as if I get them all in there. Get it? Okay, so using all your fingers in the bends. What else? Oh yes, so let's practice intonation with our bends. We can bend up half step, which is 1 fret. We could bend up 2 frets. We could bend up 3 frets. Really, there's no limit in how much you can bend except for what your string can take. But it's not uncommon to bend half steps and whole steps, and even thirds, or I should say, you know, a minor third or 3 frets. That's not uncommon at all. So experiment, but at first your fingers are probably only going to want to do like a half step or a whole step, and then you'll start warming up to it. You definitely will build calluses, and it'll hurt at first, but just keep going, because eventually you'll get beyond that. But everybody in the beginning, when they're doing this, it kind of hurts. You're going to make it. Okay, so what else? Let's talk about intonation. Let's say I'm using, by the way, this scale that I'm using for these bends here is going to be Form 1 in my pentatonic module and in the blues scale module of, right now, eBook 2 and the blues eBook at YourGuitarSage.com. So if you haven't got those already, check those out. Go get them. They'll help a ton, and you'll be able to have a physical representation of what I'm doing here. Okay, so like if I'm going for this note, what I like to do, and this is how I teach my students to bend in pitch, is I'll hit the note like that, and then I'll bend up into it. Come on. Slash again. Dude, I'm in the middle of a lesson right now. Yeah, teaching blues. I know, yeah. I know, Slash. We'll get together at some point, okay? Look, seriously, I'm in the middle of it right now, okay? Yeah, blues scale? Yeah. I've taught it to you like 100 times, dude. All right, look, you're at the, it's 5/8, okay? Starting from the low string. 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8. Okay? Like everybody out there in video land has got this. Get it down, bro. Alright? Alright. 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Gosh. Slash. Dude. All right, so that's how you play the scale. I was just getting ready to tell you. 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8. Right? That's your basic blues scale. I'm sorry. That's actually the pentatonic. I'll have to give Slash a call back. That's the pentatonic scale. The blues scale adds the blue note, which is... Okay, so that's where I'm getting these bends from, okay? You can extend this scale, and so I'm going to be bending up into these notes. If I want to bend up into this note, I like to hit it first, during practice, of course. You can do it slow at first. And depending on how quickly you bend, you're just going to come up with your own style. If you want a nice crying sound, it's going to go as opposed to, you know, real quick. And then of course you can add some vibrato to it. But wait till you get up to that pitch, okay? Okay, that's about it for bends. If you haven't already, get eBook 1. And then get eBook 2. But if you're just studying blues, get the blues eBook. Okay? At YourGuitarSage.com. Later.